Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're jumping into the source material for a pretty radical hypothesis, one that tries to connect physics, biology, and consciousness. It's a model that really aims to redefine, well, just about everything, from the particles inside your body to the very dimensions of the universe. So, let's get right to it. The most startling claim in this whole thing is this: the idea that the human body functions like a massive particle accelerator. Yeah, you heard that right. A living, breathing, biological version of the Large Hadron Collider at CERN. And this quote, pulled straight from the source, is the absolute bedrock of the entire theory. It's a huge claim, this idea that you and I are walking accelerators, aiming to explain everything from our DNA to the cosmos. So let's break down how this is all supposed to work.
Okay, to really get what's going on here, you first have to understand the incredible scope of this model. The proposal is that, on a fundamental level, you, the core of the Earth, and yes, even a banana on your countertop, are all emitting the exact same basic particles.
The whole theory is built around neutrinos, these tiny, nearly massless particles that basically don't interact with much. The idea is that they're being emitted by everything you see here. And why? It all comes down to the natural decay of an element called potassium-40. It's a radioactive isotope found in most living things, including us and, yep, bananas. Now, to build out this unique model, the author had to introduce a whole new vocabulary, a new set of particles and forces that are supposed to run the show. So let's get into the three most important building blocks that are presented in this text. First up, the absolute star of the show, the Philfo Grace particle. The theory says this is a special kind of particle that's born from the Higgs boson, the one that gives other particles mass. This one can gain and lose its own mass, and it's presented as the fundamental basis for all biological life. Next up, we've got 5D, the fifth dimension. But I want you to forget everything you think you know about extra dimensions. This theory completely redefines it. It's not a place you can go to, it's a process, the very principle of acceleration itself. And finally, there are the Janus particles. Now, the easiest way to think about these is as cosmic gatekeepers. The idea is that they exist in two layers, and their job is to control the flow of those Philfo particles, the ones that are supposed to create all biological matter. So how do all these particles get put together? Well, the theory lays out a very specific recipe. It all starts with a neutrino. That leads to an axion, which is a hypothetical particle some physicists think makes up dark matter. Then comes a state called the void, and it all ends up in what the model calls 2D matter. Okay, so if Philfo and Janus particles are the cosmic bricks and mortar, what organizes them? What puts them all together? According to this hypothesis, the answer isn't what you'd expect, like light or gravity. No, it's a force that's generated by sound and vibration. Let's take a look. So the theory actually talks about two different energy streams. On the left, you've got a stream we might kind of recognize, but on the right is a more fundamental, more creative stream. And you'll notice it swaps out light and puts cymatics at the top, which is basically the science of making sound visible. That's a huge shift. And this right here, this is the core mechanism being proposed. It's those beautiful, complex patterns created by sound and vibration, the ones you can see with cymatics, that are supposedly guiding these fundamental Philfo particles to form the very basis of life. All right, so let's take all of these pretty abstract ideas and bring them back to that wild claim we started with. We're about to see how this theory literally maps all these particles and forces directly onto the human body. So get this, the hypothesis creates a one-to-one map of our anatomy. Your head, that's your neutrino emitter. Your left and right arms actually represent the direction, or what's called the chirality of neutrinos and antineutrinos. And it gets even wilder. Your fingers are said to represent different dimensions. So, how do you switch on this internal accelerator? Well, the theory makes a really fascinating claim about frequency. It suggests that a simple physical act like joining your hands together can cause a massive jump in your body's own vibration, pushing it into this super high range of up to 24,000 hertz. And that's the key. This simple physical action is what's supposed to turn your body into that live bioaccelerator we talked about. This jump in frequency is what allegedly unlocks those cosmic Janus gates, releasing the streams of foundational Philfo particles. Okay, but it doesn't stop there.
The final layer of this whole thing gets even more ambitious. It tries to unify all of these physical concepts with music, with language, and even with consciousness itself. It's a genuine attempt at a true theory of everything. And to make these connections, the theory even uses the analogy of a musical orchestra. You can see it right here on the slide. It actually links its core components, these fundamental concepts and particles, to specific traditional musical instruments to explain how they all interact. And when you look at all this, you really see the true ambition of the theory. This isn't just a model of physics. It's a deliberate shot at creating one single unified framework that explains physical matter, the structure of our language, and even spiritual ideas, all starting from one single particle. So, where does that leave us? Well, what we've done here is lay out the building blocks of a massive, all-encompassing hypothesis. And whether you see it as groundbreaking or just really far-fetched, it definitely makes you think about the very nature of unified theories and our timeless quest to find one.